who is falling, and who just flat out stinks.
Some of y'all football sucks.
This is the Big 12 Power Poll with Jake and Ben on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We want to remind you, join Hanson, Scotty G coming up today from noon to 3 at Sound Sleep Medical. 8941 South, 700 East in Sandy. All right, it's time for the Big 12 Power Poll, where we count down all 65 teams currently in the Big 12, and then we talk about it here on the radio.
We love it.
Are we prepared?
I think so.
All right. Christian, where are we starting?
Number 16, no shocker here, guys. They lost to the bye week, Oklahoma State.
They are 1-9. I'm going to have to update all of these. Apologize. They play Kansas State this week, and I don't think they're going to find another win before the end of the season.
No.
Is this a good job?
No.
You don't think taking the Oklahoma State's a good job?
Not since T-Boone kicked the bucket, no.
Yeah, that's probably true.
If they had another big oilman to fund everything, but according to Mike Gundy, they're operating with like 25 cents and a prayer.
He has made that claim.
I would say no, it's not. Would you?
Yeah, I think it's a good job still. I don't think it's a great job, but there are far worse D1 jobs. Like, I still think it's probably a better job in Colorado. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I still think you can recruit Texas a little bit better than where Colorado's trying to pretend it can recruit, other than the fact that Dion is a pretty good recruiter and wows some kids.
Yeah, I mean, at least Colorado's won a national championship in their history. I'd way rather recruit to Boulder.
Do you have an idea of what you would do at Oklahoma State? Would you try and get like a retread, like a good coach who got fired from a good job and say, can you come in, or are you going young?
I'm going young innovator, like Mike Gundy was when he got the job.
Sure.
I'm a man, I'm 40. You forget he was 40.
Yeah, right.
Next.
Number 15, Central Florida.
Next.
They lost the space battle.
They did. They lost to Houston, the space race. They almost beat them. They had them. And then the Americans got them. They were the Russians in this situation. The Russians beat America to space. We beat America to we beat them to the moon.
But Sputnik was first in space.
Sputnik was first. Dang.
Next.
I still haven't forgotten that one.
Number 14, Colorado.
At least Colorado loses close.
That should be their motto. At least we lose close.
29-22 to West Virginia.
Could have been worse.
Lost close.
Could have been worse.
Honestly, I think Rich Rod's a better coach than Dion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And West Virginia's actually found a little something toward the end of the year. I mean, they've only won a few games, but they're a lot better than they were.
They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Just not
Rich
this
Rod's
year.
a good coach.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
All right, next. Speaking of.
Number 12. Oh, sorry, number 13, West Virginia.
I could see the Mountaineers beating Arizona State, although that is in Tempe.
It's in Tempe. I don't think they're going to. Though, again, when you don't have your starting quarterback, you absolutely have a chance. And you're right. West Virginia has found a little bit of a spark lately. Beating Colorado is not necessarily something to write home about, but you've still technically got a bowl hope alive if you're a West Virginia. So,
well, and they beat Pitt, so, I mean, Pitt's decent. I mean,
it's top 25 team.
Like Oklahoma State isn't coming anywhere within a country mile of beating a team like Pitt or Colorado, for that matter.
Problem is, I think West Virginia closes their season with Texas Tech. So I don't think they're going to get – they're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way. I don't think. Which is going to keep them out of the
win that? Come on. Next.
Your 8th-ranked team in the poll? Yeah.
I didn't have them down that far.
Number 12, Kansas.
5-5, lost to Arizona 24-20. I'm glad my Rock Chalk Jayhawks are back to just mediocrity, being boring.
How old is Jalen Daniels?
28 years old.
This has got to be his last year, right?
Yeah. He's done a little bit of the Cam Rising thing, not quite to that level, but he's just been around. He got the COVID year, he got a redshirt year. He's been around forever.
Fine player, but
fine is the
university he's playing
word.
at, really.
Yeah, it's okay.
Next.
Number 11, Kansas State.
On a bye week, 4-5, or coming off a bye week, they've got Oklahoma State this weekend. They could still fight for a bowl game.
Likely be 5-5.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it could still get to a bowl game for sure.
Yeah.
Next.
Number 10, Ballor.
I don't think Ballor is very good.
I don't think so either. I know they were flashy last year, and after Utah beat them early in the season, they looked pretty good and put things together. Again, I suspect we see a change with Dave Aranda, which just gets more interesting. How many names are going to be available in this coaching cycle?
Now, Ballor is interesting because they are swimming in dough. You asked me if that's a better job than Oklahoma State because they have good financial support.
They should consistently be in the top 6 in the Big 12.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
And they have not been.
Winning it once in a while because that has been their history.
Yeah. Oh, that was an exciting program. Not too long ago, that was one of the cool programs in the country. You know, they weren't Oregon, but they had a little bit of that. We're going to have crazy uniforms. We're going to play a really high-tempo offense, and we're going to move the ball a ton, and the air raid is cool. And they just never really figured it out.
Well, RG3 only comes around once in a while.
It's true, and then they tried to go, well, we're going to go more real. We're going to be more authentic, so we're going to hire Dave Aranda. Have more a defensive mindset, and it didn't work for him.
Next.
Number 9, Iowa State.
They stopped the slide.
They did. They beat TCU, which is not a great sign for TCU, who has to go now on the road and play at BYU.
Yeah, TCU's funny because they seem to beat themselves, and I know we'll get to TCU coming up, but they probably should have beat Iowa State. But I'll tell you what, if Iowa State keeps you close, you could be in trouble. And that's just how they play. They're going to keep you close and then let it be anybody's ball game at the end.
I sound like a broken record, but yeah, Matt Campbell loves winning games 20-17. He can't win a game 41-38. So if you're BYU and whatever they put up 2 weeks ago against Iowa State, they don't have a chance. Iowa State doesn't have a chance. But these games, they're going to win 20-17, and that's going to get you 7 or 8 wins every year. It's just really hard to do any more than that.
Again, they're not that far off a win in the league, but I do take your point. TCU should score more than 17 points on anybody. If you're going to run the air raid and only score 17 points, you're going to lose.
Agreed.
Next.
Number 8, Arizona.
Just kind of sneakily had a good year.
Having a good year, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're not competing for the Big 12 title anymore. I don't think technically they're dead in the water. Maybe
6-3 at Arizona is like 10-2.
You're right. It's a very good season.
Yeah.
It's a very good season. Brent Brennan has had a good year.
I've said it all. I think he's a good coach. I actually think they have a decent coach. I can't explain last year per se, but
it was the first year, and they lost Ted McMillan. Jed Fish stole all their good players outside of their quarterback, who's good and flawed. And Brent Brennan needed a year to figure it out, and he did. Good for him. That's a hard thing to do.
They have no money at Arizona.
Certainly not going to football.
No money going to football. I don't know about donor money, Arizona donors. I'd have to look into that more closely. But as far as the athletic department and the university in general, absolutely a financial disaster. So And
if you're going and asking a donor at Arizona to give them money, they said, okay, cool. Who's the point guard? Yeah, what point guard are you talking about? And they said, no, we want a left guard. What do you mean left guard?
Shooting guard?
Shooting guard? Is that what we're calling him now? No, on the football field.
Football?
We have a football program? Is that new? We launching it?
Yeah. It's hard to win at Arizona.
So good for Brent Brennan. 6-3, going to a bowl game.
Next.
Number 7, Houston.
They won the space race. They beat Central Florida. They're 8-2 on the season. They have absolutely choked away, though, what seemed like they had total control of the Big 12 title. Now with BYU losing, it really felt like they should have had total control of going to the Big 12 title game. But you blow a game at home to West Virginia, which is, again, why West Virginia is probably a little bit more dangerous than we've given them credit for, or at least I've given them credit for. You've always been a little higher on them than I have. Some mistakes you got to make. It's why it's hard to win games. And, again, it's why BYU has to be very careful the rest of the way, as does Texas Tech.
I don't even want to talk about my former Cougs, that they're so disappointing. They had the easiest schedule in college football.
Yep.
All they had to do was not suck.
Don't lose to the worst teams. Don't
Just
lose to the
don't
bottom
suck.
4 teams here, and you will be 11-1 at the end of the season, and they're going to have to go to whatever weird algorithm they do to decide who goes. And you blew it. By
And you
losing to
blew
West
it.
Virginia.
Way to go.
Yeah, pathetic.
Next.
Number 6, TCU.
I did not see this game, admittedly. So this was a surprise that they lost to Iowa State.
That was kind of a wild finish. They didn't. You got to move the football.
Yeah.
If you're a TCU, you got to move the football. If you put all your stock into one side of the ball, well, that side of the ball better be good. And you know what? Iowa State puts all their stock in the defensive side of the ball, and it was good. And they won. If you're going to not be a 50-50 team, if you're going to be an air raid team, you have to score more than 17 points.
Which is also why Matt Campbell, as much as I clown him, I don't think he's a clown. He's not a bozo. He's a good coach. They had lost, 4 in a row, and he knows how to stop the slide when things seem to be at their worst.
But here's my problem with your Matt Campbell take. And let's talk about TCU here for a second, because you don't like Sonny Dykes either, and I actually think he's a decent coach. You have to find the right coach for what your strengths as a program are. Right. And we've had these discussions, and I think we've had good discussions. Iowa State can't recruit anybody. Nobody wants to go play for the Cyclones. Nobody wants to go to Ames.
You're right.
You talk about recruiting people from Texas and California. Nobody wants to go there. So you have to tape together a team and make them disciplined. And it's easier to do that with a defensive-oriented team than it is to put together some team that's going to blow you out by 30. So that's what you have to do to win at Iowa State. Sonny Dykes, I actually think, was a good fit at Cal because you can't win at Cal. So you need a gimmick. So you need the air raid. He had Jared Goff. He had a couple of decent teams, and he couldn't make it last forever. TCU, is the air raid a good fit for TCU? I would argue no.
I'm with you.
Because Gary Patterson didn't make a living slinging it all over the yard. He got the biggest, toughest, most athletic dudes in Texas that couldn't get into school somewhere else, and he made them awesome. Remember Jerry Hughes. Remember all these great athletic players. They didn't need the air raid. They needed a pro style, if anything, or a defensive warrior. They needed Matt Campbell, interestingly enough. I don't think they needed Sonny Dykes.
I totally agree.
So I actually don't think Sonny's a bad coach. I just think he's a bad fit. I actually think Matt Campbell's a great fit at Iowa State because they should be 0-12 every single year.
Yeah, you need a tough guy, and he's a bit of a tough guy, and he plays tough. He has tough teams, and they're not perfect, and they have their flaws, and when they can get a pretty decent quarterback that can move the ball a little bit, they have a chance.
But if you are that pretty decent quarterback, Ben, and you get offers to Ames and anywhere else.
Yeah, you go anywhere else.
Anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like Kyle Whittingham is a great fit at Utah.
Yeah, perfect fit.
He maximizes what you can do at Utah. Pete Carroll was a perfect fit at USC. Crazily enough, Jim Harbaugh was maybe the only fit at Stanford.
A dream fit. Dream fit. Yeah.
At Stanford.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. Everything you're saying is right on. It doesn't mean that what Matt Campbell doesn't have its flaws. It still means maybe he's getting every drop out of what that program can offer. It's still, most days on the field, is only so good. And that so good is 20 to 24 points every time they step out there.
But why does Witt stay at Utah forever? And sorry, I know we'll move on here in a sec. But why does Kirk Ferentz stay at Iowa forever? And why does Matt Campbell stay at Iowa State forever? And Kyle Whittingham stay at Utah forever? Because those universities are terrified of firing those coaches because they know there's a possibility they go back to being average because they're not USC, and it's not a no-brainer to win there. You have to have a coach who's not only good, but knows how to win there.
Yes. It's why.
And so they're going to keep those coaches.
Why did Dick Clark host the Rocket Eve every day for his life? Honestly, yes, Dick Clark didn't want to let go of it, but the people who host, or the what channel was it, ABC or whatever
it is,
they recognized he was good at it.
He's the star.
He drew eyeballs to this silly thing, and they never wanted to replace him. It wasn't a gimmick.
Dick is going to die up there.
They didn't know what else to do. He was the best at it, so they kept him up there. It's the exact same thing.
Next.
Number 5, Arizona State.
Arizona State. And it's why they need to fight and claw to hold on to Kenny Dillingham. Because he is a great fit there.
He is.
And I think Kenny should look elsewhere because I actually think Arizona State needs Kenny more than Kenny needs Arizona State.
I don't know if Kenny's recipe would work elsewhere. That's the curious thing. That's the weird thing about hiring a hiring a local. And like would Witt have worked at Tennessee? I don't know.
He wouldn't have worked to this level. that he's had at Utah. So
I don't
yes,
know. It could have been a complete failure. What it
absolutely
takes
right.
to win at Tennessee is not, you know what I mean? He knows Utah.
I don't know if Witt would have won the league twice the way he won the Pac-12 twice.
Right.
Had he gone to Tennessee.
And I think Dilly's the same way. He knows what it takes to win at Arizona State, and it's different and unique.
I do think he's young. I do think he's fiery. I do think he's a pretty good salesman, and I think that's generally a pretty good combo.
Well,
he does have to pick the right job, though. He is not a drop him into any job and he will have success. I don't think that's the case.
If I were to make a steel man of your argument, I'd say he is really good with quarterbacks. And if you're another university, you're looking for an offensive type coach, pick somebody who's really good with quarterbacks.
And you can get quarterbacks.
And he's proven that.
Again, Iowa State can't.
Yep.
But if you are at a place that maybe can get some quarterbacks, Kenny should be a good option.
But if he took a job like UCLA or something like that, that would be madness.
Yeah, there are just bad jobs.
Yeah. Next.
Like that?
Number 4, Utah.
How?
Huh?
How?
What do you mean, how?
How is Utah 4?
Well, they've got 2 conference losses, Ben.
How is Utah behind Cincinnati, who their last game was they played and they beat them?
Well, here's the exercise that I did. Because I had Utah at 4.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. People could just listen to me. So I took all the 1-loss teams and put them in the top 3. So that bumped Utah to 4 because they're a 2-loss team.
Okay.
Then I said, who's got the worst loss?
Okay.
And that would be the Raiders. So I put the Raiders at 3. BYU just lost, so I couldn't put BYU at 2. So Cincinnati didn't lose in the bye, so I put Cincinnati at 1.
So you put Cincinnati at 1, despite the fact that they're sitting at 2 losses.
One
the
loss.
last time they played, 2 losses overall.
I'm talking about in league.
So the mental gymnastics to ruin the poll have been accomplished. But you have Utah behind Cincinnati in the power poll.
They have 2 losses.
You are right.
They have 2 losses.
Cincinnati controls its own destiny. Utah does not. If that's your argument.
Oh, it has nothing to
get
do with
to.
destiny. It has to do with hardened facts. Utah has 2 losses. Cincinnati has 1. And Cincinnati, I'm actually giving Utah credit because Cincinnati has a better loss than Texas Tech.
What you're saying, weirdly, is not wrong.
It's right.
It's moronic. It's idiotic. It's indefensible.
It's correct.
But there's a little bit of
Thanks,
logic.
man.
There's a little bit of logic to it.
That's a bad loss to Arizona State. Way to go, Raiders. Cincinnati losing to Utah is not a bad loss.
Had Texas Tech beaten Arizona State, they would have had so much room for error. They still don't have any room for error.
If
they still
ifs and
lose
buts
one of
were
these
candy
games.
and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. The Raiders are at 3.
TCU just lost to Central Florida. And we have, TCU just lost to Iowa State. We have TCU higher.
We do,
than
but
Iowa
they
State.
are, 2 games ahead of them in the standings versus Cincinnati being
Whose
ahead
problem
of Utah.
is
despite
that?
the fact
Not
they
mine.
lost.
Go Bearcats.
So Utah's at 4. Who's at number 3, Christian?
Number 3, Cincinnati.
What happened last time we saw Utah and Cincinnati play?
They had a loss to a good team. That's what happened. They had a loss to a good team. They had a good
45-14.
It was a good loss. What do you want from me? Utah's better than Arizona State. Fact. Yes. Correct.
You sound like the college football playoff committee. It's exactly what you sound like.
So?
It's a great loss.
They're biased, so am I.
They had an awesome loss. We love it. We're rewarding them for their awesome loss. Their awesome loss is more awesome than your loss.
Correct. What?
Christian, who's at number 2?
Number 2, BYU.
Okay, Christian, how did we all rank them? We all ranked them too?
Yeah,
Yes.
all 3 of us.
All right, good for us.
Well,
Lost to Texas Tech 29.
I think they're the second best team in the league at this point.
They clearly are.
They had a good loss too.
So you expect Cincinnati to beat BYU at home next week?
I think they should be favored.
I will be very curious what this game looks like, actually. Cincinnati's got a bye week now. No, they're coming off a bye week. They're going to play Arizona. That Cincinnati BYU game, not sneaky. Everyone's had it circled for a while. That's a huge game.
In all seriousness, I hope Cincinnati beats Arizona because that would set up a really interesting game.
Definitely. Yeah, the move to 8-2. They're going to be back in the top 25. People will have forgotten about the Utah loss by that point.
Jake will keep them at number 1.
Jake will keep him at number 1. Gives an excuse to keep him at number 1. You'll have number 1 versus number 2 in Jake's poll.
What did you guys have the Bearcats at?
We each had them at 4.
Robbed. You guys are completely
We each had
biased.
them behind the only other team that they lost to, Utah.
Your Bearcat hate is just ridiculous.
So BYU's at 2 at 8-1. Christian, who's number 1?
Texas Tech into the number 1 spot. Is this the first time they've been number 1
No.
all year?
No.
I think after they beat Utah, we moved them up to number 1. But they lost to Arizona State, 2 weeks later, so they didn't get a chance to stay there very long. Texas Tech 9-1.
Terrible loss.
College Football Playoff Committee rankings coming out tonight. I will be curious how much they reward them for beating BYU. I think there's a real chance they're 4 or 5. They should be.
See, I chose to punish them more for losing to Arizona State than reward them for beating BYU.
A month ago.
It was several weeks ago, not a month ago.
5 to 6 weeks ago, they lost to Arizona State, and that's unforgivable.
You're still killing the Bearcats for losing to Nebraska. That was like a year ago.
No, it's that they lost to Utah and couldn't move the ball at all. It looked absolutely pathetic 2 weeks ago.
I know. Utah's a good team. That's what I said.
Texas Tech comes in at number 1. Christian, recap, top 10.
Number 10, Baylor. Number 9, Iowa State. Number 8, Arizona. Number 7, Houston. Number 6, TCU. Number 5, Arizona State. Number 4, Utah. Number 3, Cincinnati. Number 2, BYU. And number 1, Texas.
Man, you guys are going to get killed for having Cincinnati ahead of Utah.
Christian, on the graphic, will you start putting out who voted who?
No!
Yeah, will you start
that's
putting out
not
the
how
votes?
it works.
Why not? Transparency.
That's not
In the
how
name
it
of
works.
transparency, let's put out who voted who.
You can't change the rules of the game.
Yes, I can. You change the rules of the game
I
every
do
week in the
not.
poll.
We publish the poll. We don't publish the votes. We publish the poll. That's how it works.
You change the
And
rules
you
of
guys
who
are
gets
going
to
to
be
get
number 1 every week.
creamed by the Ute fans out there.
We'll see if there's enough fan and listener support to warrant us
You
releasing
know what you
the
can do?
ballots.
You should cut the clip of why Utah's at 4 and why Cincinnati's at 3 and publish it right after.
Stay
A,
tuned.
we'll get some traffic, and B, there's transparency there.
New Weber State interim football coach Brent Myers joins the show next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.